charm of sports, also the perfect cooperation between athletes and sports equipment. Taisha has been served numerous of games and never a malfunction and complaint. Taisha highly value innovation and technology. This is why we are trusted. This is Taisha Tips.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Session 2, Day 5, 2019 World Wrestling Championships. I'm your host, David Mirikitani, once again with my guy, Kevin Black. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
We've had an interesting day, sort of a mixed bag of wrestling this morning. Let's kind of preview what we have coming up. There's going to be 2 sessions. The first session will be the semis of the 4 weights that were held this morning, 57, 59, 65, 76 kilograms. The 2 American wrestlers still on the front side are Forrest Molinari and Adeline Gray. Why don't you tell everybody, what we can expect from those two?
Yeah, I mean, semifinals is a big match. You win, you get a medal, right? Nothing's guaranteed once you're in the semifinals. As we've seen in the past, Forrest was here last year and dropped a semifinals match, and then lost in the bronze medal match and finished 5th. So nothing guaranteed here. Still a lot of wrestling to be done. Both are wrestling pretty well. Forrest just getting the job done. We've talked a little bit about not many leg attacks, but good heavy hands, good position, and she's in a nice spot in her bracket. Bracket's pretty wide open, so for her, she's gonna face the wrestler from the Ukraine, and Adeline Gray, looking for her 5th world gold medal, which would put her in some legendary status in American history. And she has Elena Faken from Germany, and she was a world champion herself, but Adeline just kind of at a different level than the rest of this group. We expected her to wrestle the wrestler from Germany here in the semifinals, so it was just kind of business as usual for the two of them, each winning 3 matches. On the top half, a couple surprises from a really loaded top half of the bracket, but the Japanese wrestler will move forward to wrestle the Estonian wrestler.
Yep, and so the other 2 weight classes that were held were 57. Jenna Burkett, she went 1-1, and then the wrestler she lost to lost, so that put her out of it. And then, frankly, probably the most surprising, disappointing way of all the women wrestlers, Allie Reagan, really, frankly, just a stud who's wrestled really well at a lot of different levels and got out to a good start, and then got in a scramble where she came up to the body and got sort of lateral drop, bounced right back up. Girl kept the same hold, stepped across, hip toss for the fall.
Yeah, really a bummer. I think that people are going to be wondering what was going on. We'll watch the video over and over and try to figure it out exactly. But gosh, I think just an off day for Allie, and can't have an off day at the World Championships. Got caught.
Yeah.
One and done.
Yeah, it's a good way to say it. I mean, you can't have an off day here, because no one's that good that they're 9-10 points better than everybody. So, and that girl she wrestled had some home runs, but she just, actually was kind of unsound fundamentally, but she got Allie in her positions.
Yeah.
So after the semifinals, there'll be the medal matches from the 4 weight classes that started yesterday, which were 50, 53, 55, 72. Let's start with the 2 lower weights. 50, that was Whitney Condor. She went 0-1, so we won't be seeing her. 53, Sarah Hildebrandt. She went 1-2, took 7th. Big difference between 7th and 5th, where she would have qualified the weight and put herself in the Olympic trial final, so we won't see either one of them. But the 2 high points, 55, Jakara Winchester, she's in the finals, has wrestled, I think, really well, in my opinion. What have we seen from her, and what are we expecting tonight?
Yeah, she was going to have a Japanese wrestler who's her first time at the senior level wrestling here in the World Championships, and I think we got to expect Jakara to come out and be aggressive, stay in good position, and this is a match that she needs to win for her country. And we often wrestle the singlet, but some of these first-time girls for Japan are showing that they're not as dominant as some of the other first-time. With Uri is the one that she's going to wrestle here. Nanami Uri, her sister, didn't medal at 50, and then Japan had 2 other wrestlers that were defeated today at the non-Olympic weights. So that was their first time to these senior championships as well. So they had 4 girls. It was their first time ever wrestling at the senior championships, and traditionally that means this is their first year. They're ready to win gold medals. I don't think it was the case with these Japanese women. So this is a good matchup for Jakara. Yeah, she's wrestling a Japanese girl, but I think she can beat her.
Yeah, and to be fair, she's our only medalist at this point.
Yeah.
She's kind of the one that broke the ice, has done a really good job, has won multiple ways, like upper body moves, and then had some good leg attacks, match management. She's just done a lot of things well. The other wrestler from the United States at 72, Victoria Francis, not a huge bracket in in terms of the number of athletes because non-Olympic, but she's in for the bronze medal. Maybe explain to people how that worked.
Yeah, and what we've said is that the rest, if you lose any time throughout the bracket, if that wrestler that beat you makes it to the finals, you're pulled back into we call it the repechage, and it's just an additional little mini tournament of all the people that wrestled the finalists, and the winner of all of that wins one of the bronze medals, 2 bronze medals, top half of the bracket, bottom half of the bracket. And so with only 12 wrestlers, the Uzbekistan wrestler received a bye first round. Victoria won her first round against Canada and then lost that Uzbekistan wrestler. So she didn't have a first round repechage match. Automatically fell into the bronze medal match. She'll have China, and it's a very winnable match for her.
Yeah, so I guess she's our second medal, or potentially our second medalist, right? So, so let's maybe go big picture. The importance of placing, obviously, besides this tournament, but towards the Olympics, right? So we went through the criteria with folks yesterday, but people that weren't with us, if you place in the top 6 at an Olympic weight, you do 2 things. You qualify the weight class, which is different than qualifying yourself. For the you qualify your weight class for the Olympic tournament the next year, and you qualify yourself for the Olympic trials finals. So right now we don't have anybody that's done that yet, but actually we do. Adeline Gray, I'm sorry, she did by winning this morning. She's just so workmanlike. I forgot to give her credit for that, but that's substantial. And then if you place in the top 4 the non-Olympic weights, which Winchester has done, which Molinari can do with 1 match, and with Francis can do with 1 match, that puts you into the semifinals of the Olympic trials. So these ladies are wrestling for a lot, not just for this year, but for next year.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of both. It's a team thing and an individual thing.
Right.
You know, there is some individual reward for doing well through our qualification process, and then there's also team implications because we got to get those spots qualified for the Olympics, or we don't compete in the Olympics at those weights. Tamara Mensah-Stock, who wrestled tomorrow, she was our Olympic representative in 2016, but didn't get to wrestle in the games because that weight class wasn't qualified.
Right, and for example, in 2016, I think most of our viewers are probably most familiar with men's freestyle. Tony Ramos had qualified the weight, I think, through the Pan Am Games. Daniel Dennis beat him, and Daniel Dennis, because Ramos had earned the spot for the country, he got to go, whereas Frank Molinaro, Jaden Cox, won their bracket. The weight hadn't been qualified. They went to the last chance qualifier. Jaden qualified the weight. Frank actually didn't. It was the first alternate, and then due to some happenings, got in the bracket and was literally about this far away from being the bronze medalist, but Frank Chimizo's knee not touching the ground. So, we've got a few minutes. Let's talk a little bit about tomorrow. So, tomorrow is a mixed bag. Like a couple days ago, it was. And for me, it's been, Greco, and then the next day was the first day of women's, and then the medal matches from Greco. So we have the same thing. We have actually tomorrow. It's an interesting day. First day of 2 women's weights and 2 men's freestyle weights. So you said it. We have 2 hammers going tomorrow. Kayla Miracle, Tamara Mensah-Stock. For people that aren't super familiar with them, 62, 68. What should we expect from them?
Yeah, these weight classes we haven't seen the draws yet, so we don't know exactly where they fall in the bracket. Kayla, number 1 ranked wrestler in the world. I believe Tamara is also ranked number 1 in the world. Tamara won the Eureka tournament this year. Kayla's been wrestling really well, and these are 2 wrestlers that we're counting on. For Kayla, this is her first taste of the senior world championships, and she's set up well to do great things. Tamara's been here before. She was a medalist last year, and both of them have they have different skill sets, but have a lot in the toolbox.
Yeah.
Mensah, very athletic, very strong, powerful, and when she gets going, she gets going. But
yeah.
She also has struggled in the past with really knowing exactly how to wrestle in some matches, whether if it's a strategy thing, and she just goes. Sometimes she needs to follow a plan a little bit. And Kayla, a different type of wrestler, and she knows how to wrestle in every position. She grew up wrestling.
She's a coach's
her dad's
kid.
Dad's a coach, so she knows how to wrestle in every position. She can scramble, and she's explosive too. So yeah, I'm excited to watch those two, because be a good way for us to end.
Yeah.
And what today, these next couple hours could unfold to really set us up to have a nice tournament as a team. Couple setbacks. Obviously the Allie Reagan one is hurting us right now, but we could finish out well.
Well, and those two weights tomorrow are both Olympic weights, so really important that those ladies at least hopefully can take place in the top 6.
Yeah.
And then the other two weights are men's freestyle at 57 kilograms, the phenom Dayton Fix, between his second and third year in college, national runner-up in a controversial match, age group world champion, medalist, and he'll be at 57 at 125 and a half. That weight's loaded, but first senior world tournament appearance, and you have film on these guys, but until these guys bump into him, he's a different beast. Not a high volume leg attack guy for a lightweight, but he wants to get in scrambles. You get to his legs, he's probably going to win. That's what happened in the matches he won with Gilman. When Gilman finished clean, Gilman won. When he's able to put you in the blender, he wins. And then Zane Rutherford, probably the guy that's literally had the hardest path just to make the team. Right. Everybody's, talked about him and Yanni. Yanni's had some huge wins. Zane was a little banged up, came back through. Literally, we saw the interview on Trackwrestling where he talked about his proposal to his fiance was all screwed up because of the schedule, and he seems like a kid that normally would just kind of say everything's fine, but was literally ticked off about that. So he'll come over with a big chip on his shoulder, which is probably a good thing. Has some pretty good coaches over there at Penn State. Those guys know a little bit about winning, and he's in an optimal training environment. But both senior level guys, premier time, and again Olympic weight classes. So we really are obviously rooting for those guys. The bracket draws may happen for all 4 of those weights while we're on the air, and if that happens, we'll at least be able to mention it to people what's going on. So last thing people need to know is that the tournament coming up, there's 3 ways to buy. $29.99 is for this tournament, and then the under 23s going forward. $49.99 is for another venue, and you have different options there. And then the Scramble the Gold Plus is $99.99. And if you use the code Scramble, you pay $99 instead of $130. If you go to trackwrestling.com, it lists all those different things. So people need to go check that out. It's really an awesome opportunity. We're going to throw it to commercial. We'll be right back.
What's the difference between the good and the great? The champion and the runner-up? Both work hard. Both show up for practice. Both work for success. So what makes them different? Others just want success. The champion creates it. We don't beg for it. We don't ask for it. We don't wait for it. We create it. Create your own success.
If our mats could talk, they would speak of hand craftsmanship, innovation, and our tradition of excellence, of our patented zip connection, exclusive Digiprint technology, the reputation our mats are known for. If our mats could talk, They would speak of our history, of champions, and of you. 60 years of tradition, 60 years of success.